The rain hammered down in sheets, the neon lights of the city reflecting off the slick pavement. Arden slipped between the shadows of towering skyscrapers, his breath ragged, his pulse erratic. Tonight was supposed to be his final job, the one that would let him disappear for good. He was a thief, and a desperate one at that. Not out of greed, but necessity. The debts he owed weren't the kind that could be repaid with credits. People were hunting him, and if he didn't pull this off, he'd be nothing more than a forgotten smear on the streets of Arcadia Prime. The target? A government vault deep beneath the Nexus Spire, the tallest structure on the planet. His fence, an enigmatic woman named Luth had given him the details. A small, metallic artifact, rumored to be priceless. A single job, she had said. Easy in, easy out. She lied. The moment Arden breached the vault's inner sanctum, alarms shrieked through the corridors. The artifact, a small, humming orb of unknown metal, vibrated in his grip, sending an unsettling warmth through his fingers. That was when the world turned upside down. Light flared. A ripple in the air like shattered glass. The vault warped, twisting in on itself. Then darkness, and suddenly he was standing outside the Nexus Spire again, rain dripping down his face, his breath coming in gasps. The moment replayed exactly as it had before. The time loop had begun. Arden thought he was losing his mind. He had experienced déjà vu before, but this was different. Each time he broke into the vault, the same thing happened. The moment he touched the artifact, time reset. Again and again. Without fail. Tuxur. By the 10th loop, he tried ignoring the job. It didn't matter. The city always led him back to the Nexus Spire. Events twisted around him, forcing him onto the same path. He was trapped. On the 27th loop, he noticed something new. A figure standing in the rain. Watching. Arden froze. The figure wasn't there in previous loops. Cloaked in shimmering fabric, it moved unlike anything human. Fluid, as if reality itself bent around it. When he took a step forward, the figure tilted its head, then vanished, as if dissolving into the air. The next loop, he searched for it again. This time, it spoke. "You should not have touched it." The voice wasn't spoken aloud. It was inside his head, reverberating through his very bones. The being shimmered, its form shifting between solidity and nothingness. "You are caught in an anomaly not meant for your kind." Arden swallowed hard. What does that mean? The being regarded him for a long moment before responding. "You are seeing beyond the veil. The artifact is not a thing, it is an event, a fracture in time." The revelation shattered Arden's understanding of reality. The artifact wasn't an object of power. It was a wound in existence itself. He wasn't stealing a thing. He was stealing a moment that refused to be taken. But that meant there had to be a way to break the cycle. For countless loops he experimented. He tried abandoning the heist, but reality forced him back. He tried destroying the artifact, only for the loop to reset before he could strike. Even dying didn't work. He awoke again at the start, gasping for air, the rain falling just as it had before. Desperation clawed at him. Was he destined to exist forever in this purgatory? It was Luth who finally gave him the answer, though she never realized it. "You're not the first to go after it," she told him on what must have been the 100th loop. "The government found it years ago, but they couldn't hold on to it. The artifact chooses who it binds to. That was it. He had been chosen. Which meant he had to find a way to make it choose someone else." Arden tracked down the shimmering being once more, waiting in the alley where it always appeared. This time he didn't run or ask futile questions. "I need out," he said. The entity observed him. "There is only one way. The artifact must pass to another." Arden exhaled. "Who?" "A willing soul." The weight of the words settled over him. He couldn't force it on someone. It had to be accepted. And there was only one person desperate enough to take it. Luth! Loop after loop, Arden wove his plan. He spoke to Luth, dropping hints, making her curious. He let her see the artifact, Let her feel its hum beneath her fingertips. He painted it as the ultimate prize, a treasure beyond value. And then, on the last loop, he handed it to her willingly. The moment she grasped it, reality cracked. The time loop twisted, shrieked, and then silence. For the first time in what felt like eternity, Arden felt the rain for real. Cold, fresh, new. The loop had ended. And Luth? She was gone. Epilogue. Echoes in time. Arden left Arcadia Prime that night, boarding the first freighter out of the system. He never looked back. But sometimes, in the quiet spaces between seconds, he swore he could still hear the rain. And somewhere, in the infinite expanse of the cosmos, Luth was learning what it truly meant to be caught in time's embrace.